I hear the beckoning breath softly cry from the breeze as it tickles the rolling waves and windswept caresses. Rushing waters trickle over fraying as it retreats along the rocky recess, revealing moonlit tide pools that ripple with tiny arcs of astral reflections. I watch the mist rise at the confluence of warm air, embracing the cool waters to coalesce in foggy plumes, slowly rising to billow in a purposeful motion, to collect and sway in the shoreline's melody. A cloudy hand emanates from the bank's edge. I see its wispy fingers curl and fold into its palm in soliciting waves. Mystified by the brilliant spectacle, the allure overcame my hesitation of entering into the vapor's obscurity. As I approached the bank's edge, the tidal symphony overtured in a roaring crescendo, anointing my cheeks in the brisk, cool salt water. Upon entering the vale, my first steps were as awkward and clumsy as a toddler. Blinded, I reached out my hands to feel for obstructions. I soon felt a spectral hand gently grasp mine. Frightened, I turned my gaze back to the place I had entered. I watched as a curl of spirals slowly dissipated back into my silhouette's wake. I heard a familiar voice whisper my name in a warm timbre. As the ethereal hand slowly guided me further into the cloud, I felt the mist collecting on my skin, slowly wrapping along my body, seemingly with intent, reacting to my motion. I felt a sensation of rising, but not from the inclination of my movement. For in the moments between treads, the lifting sensation remained constant. I began to feel the cloud respire in unison with my exhales, its breath collapsing and expanding with mine. All sense of solidity expelled, I began to feel my pulse coursing within the cloud. The rising sensation slowly gave way to a rolling drift as the dawning light kissed the cloud with the orange-red hues of a new day. I could see the rocky shoreline far below, dotted with pools reflecting back to me, and hear the waters rush against the rocks as if I was still standing next to them, as the breeze fluttered and carried me further away. I felt the bristle of the treetops and the outstretched thirsty leaves revel in the sunlight's nourishment, and the dewdrops licking the blades of grass as a deer and her fawn nibble and graze along the forest edge, and the playful glides of seagulls skirting the shoreline for sustenance, and a black bear rolling his back along the ground, scratching an itch and taking a moment to soak up the sun. Coasting the air current, I began colliding and joining with other clouds, and feeling the collective expansion as my awareness touched all that I passed. At this moment, I heard the familiar voice again say, "Remember, you are always connected to everything. Never were you alone or apart." Although I was no longer conscious of my flesh, I felt a tear fall from my eye in recognition, as I drew a deep breath and felt the cloud condensing with my exhale, as rain started to pour from me. I felt the droplets slowly falling down as flashes of memories of feeling alone and sadness outpoured. And I realized that familiar voice was mine, trying to tell me of my connection, to remind me of who I really was, and that these moments were fleeting bits of loss of awareness. I felt my droplets cascade along the ground and glance all that I had surveyed from above. The leaves, the branches, and the treetops. The deer, the bear, the hungry seagulls, and the blades of grass. All were contented at my touch. As I awoke lying next to the rocky shoreline, feeling the warm rain tickling my skin.